Hi, I hope everybody is good, and I hope to see some of you on our Zoom today. I think we're gonna play a game with you. So, restart. I'm gonna try to get these readings in and emailed to you quickly, so that you have them to view before the Zoom or after the Zoom or whatever. So, restart. We left off where the kids are fighting in the old people home, the elderly, the retirement home. So they're fighting over the metal. And Chase is the one who's trying to do the right thing to give it back, and the other two want it. So let's see what happens today. This is in Shoshana's point of view. Let's see if I can see here. By the time I get to Portland Street, I'm walking so fast that the others are half a block behind me, running to catch up. Chase! I didn't think I could be madder at him than I already am, but this almost makes it worse. He's innocent of the attack on Joel. I saw it with my own eyes. It was easier when I could just hate his guts, no questions asked. But it's not as simple as that. Now, every time I work myself into a good rage, I'll see him trying to protect Joel or working with the video club or interacting with Mr. Solway, and that will ruin everything. It's the mix of good and bad that makes my head spin. Worse, a lot of the mean things I said turn out to be wrong, and it might be too late to take them back. In the lobby, I wait for the others to catch up and drag them down the hall to Mr. Solway's room. I knock on the door, but burst inside without waiting for an answer. The old man is doubled over in his favorite chair, working on his sneaker lace with intense concentration. Spying me? He exclaims. Well, don't just stand there. Come on in and help me undo this knot. I don't bend in the middle like I used to, and when I do, when I do get close enough, I can't see it. I step inside the others follow. By all means, Mr. Solway adds, invite the whole world. Watch the old codger trying to untie his shoes. Who's bringing the popcorn? You're going to have to blow up the balloons yourselves. I haven't got the wind for it anymore. I kneel down and pick the knot out of his shoelace. Mr. Solway, I ask breathlessly, has Chase been here yet? He shakes his head. Haven't seen him in days. You either? He adds, a little accusingly. I feel awful. I haven't come since Joel got hurt, and now I realize that Chase hasn't visited since the horrible day either. It never occurred to me before because my only thoughts about Chase were how much I despised him. But to Mr. Solway, it must look like we didn't need him anymore because our video was finished and we just tossed him aside. It's my fault, I confess. I got mad at Chase for something that was only partly his fault. That's why he stopped coming. Not because he didn't want to see you or because he didn't want to see, but because he didn't want to see me. And I stopped because I didn't want to run into him. I feel a hand on my shoulder. Joel is standing next to me, and I realize that he's trying to tell me I'm getting so worked up about this emotionally that I'm not making much sense. A crooked smile spreads over Mr. Solway's craggy face. I wouldn't be young again for all the tea in China. Kimberly steps forward. We saw a movie about you in my school. That was Warrior, Brendan supplies quickly. The project Shoshana and Chase did together. There's a commotion out in the hall, loud voices and pounding footsteps. Mr. Solway frowns. Not wheelchair roller derby again. The greatest generation. They think they own the world. I poke my head out the door in time to see Chase sprinting toward me with, of all things, a vacuum cleaner clutched in his arms. As I watched, he yanked violently backward off of his feet. He falls hard, still clinging to the appliance. Aaron's on the floor behind him, both hands on the electrical cord that brought Chase down. Bear hurdles the fallen Aaron and descends on Chase like a bird of prey. And when Chase won't give up the vacuum, Bear rains punches on his head and shoulders. I hear a cry of outrage from Kimberly, but it's not as loud as my own. The two of us rush forward and jump on Bear, trying to pull off Chase, and it works. He scrambles back to his feet and shoves us away from him. Kimberly bounces off the wall, and as we stumble together, our heads meet with a crack. I see stars. Hey! A little undersized Brendan comes flying at Bear, his anger lending him courage nobody ever knew he had. He begins pummeling Bear, landing blow after blow. It's insane. David versus Goliath. He isn't even making proper fists. His thumbs stick out like apple stems. Then Bear, shocked expression, turns to the cruel glee and laughs even as Brendan continues to flail at him. Finally, he hauls off and catches a much smaller assailant with a bone-crushing uppercut to the jaw. Brendan lifts off the floor, lands 6 feet away. Amazingly, he gets up, his chin bright red from the punch, and starts for Bear again. Chase is on his feet, reaching out to hold Brendan off. It's a good idea. Those 2 gorillas could really dismantle him. Aaron snatches the vacuum off the floor and draws it back like a baseball bat. And the ball is Chase's head. I rasp a warning. Chase! Mr. Solway's walker comes freewheeling down the hall. It slams into Aaron's kidneys just when he's off balance for a home run swing. And he and the vacuum tip backward onto Bear. The 3 of them, Aaron, Bear, and the Hoover, clatter to the floor. Ha ha ha! Bullseye! Exclaims Mr. Solway with satisfaction. There they are. The heavy doors at the end of the corridor are thrown open and Joel appears, leading Nurse Duncan and 2 security guards. Way to go, Joel. At least somebody had the brains to go for help. Aaron and Bear are ready to fight another round, but the arrival of the security and the head nurse puts an end to the action. Brawling in the middle of a court-ordered community service wasn't a good look on their records. I'm sorry, won't look good on their records. Sorry, my phone rang. All right, boys and girls, I left you off at kind of a cliffhanger, so we're going to have to see what happens, who gets in trouble, where the medal is, and all that kind of stuff. So I'll continue to read tomorrow. Take care.